We both agreed that Rio de Janeiro is the most beautiful city we've ever been to.
Rio is the perfect balance of scenic mountains, bustling city and party beach vibes. But unfortunately it doesn't have the best reputation safety-wise, and the crime rate is amongst the highest in the world.
So in the couple of weeks before coming here, we were half excited and half scared. Is it safe here? Can we use our camera, drone or even phone without looking over our shoulder?
After spending a whole week here, we are ready to share our own story of Rio de Janeiro with you.
The first thing we would like to show you is the view of Rio from above. And I'm not talking about drone footage. To get to this view, you need to get to the top of a mountain and then, well, jump from it. We tried paragliding before, so this time I chose hang gliding as a birthday present for Mark.
The main difference between hang gliding and paragliding is that it's more fun and more exhilarating. You literally feel like a bird flying through the air at a faster speed. And to be honest, it's hard to imagine a better view of Rio than this. Flying over the ocean was the best part, and Asia even spotted a stingray from above.
We just finished our hang gliding experience in Rio, and it was honestly one of the most incredible experiences that I've ever had in my life. We went for 11 or 12 minutes and we were in the air, and you could see the Christ the Redeemer statue in the distance, the favelas, and the beach we landed on here is absolutely beautiful. It's top of the bucket list, I think, or certainly up there with the top 5 things to do here.
We landed at São Conrado Beach, which has amazing blue water and isn't as crowded as the more popular Ipanema and Copacabana beaches. Even though we really like the area we stayed in, Copacabana Beach is, as you can imagine, very developed and quite touristy. Generally, it's very easy to get around the city. We chose not to buy SIM cards, so we didn't use Uber as most others would recommend. We just carried cash and used the official yellow taxis. We found taxi drivers here to be very accommodating. They're really helpful, and we didn't have any problems getting to any locations we needed, and as sometimes can happen in other places, we didn't get ripped off even once.
We spent most evenings chilling on beautiful Copacabana beach, having some food and local cocktails. Caipirinhas, a Brazilian cocktail similar to mojitos, cost an average 2 to 3 euros. So be careful not to drink too many of them, because they're strong and cheap, which can be a dangerous combination. Copacabana isn't only about sunbathing and swimming. Local people come here to play beach volleyball, run, cycle, and of course, play their beloved football.
The atmosphere on the beach is very lively. You can buy some souvenirs, and a couple of times we were offered some, shall we say, illegal goods, if you know what I mean. Yeah, there was this one time we were on the Copacabana and I took out my phone and I noticed a group of teenagers, so I put my phone back in my pocket, and then I seen them kind of gesturing in a grabbing motion to their friends and stuff, so I just quickly put my phone in the pocket and just walked away. So stuff like that you probably need to be a little bit careful about. I don't know, maybe I'm judging them badly, but it just seemed a little bit dodgy. So if you take out your phone, take a picture, take it and put it back in your pocket and walk around.
The tiles around Copacabana beach look just like in Portugal, as it used to be a Portuguese colony. In 16th century, during the sugarcane trade in Brazil, the Portuguese named the mountains just beside the Copacabana beach as the Sugar Loaf Mountain, because it looked like the blocks of sugar placed in conical molds to be transported on ships. So far we just used our GoPro when we went out, because we're not sure if it's okay at all taking out the camera. Now we've seen it's a little bit more relaxed. We felt quite safe, I would say. And today we are going to Sugarloaf Mountain, and you go there by cable car, and I just want to take my camera, and I think to get there you have to pay money, so I just hope it's gonna be safe. There are 2 ways to get to the top of the mountain. To hike, but it's quite a difficult hike that includes rock climbing.
I think we're very happy we don't have to hike, and you just get a cable car to the top of one mountain, and then the cable car takes you up to the other mountain as well. So
it cost €54 for the 2 of us, but if you decide to do the hiking, you would have to pay a tour guide, as you need rock climbing gear.
The views from up there are insane, and you get one of the best views of Christ the Redeemer.
This new wonder of the modern world is located on Mount Corcovado, which is 700 meters high. The view from there is extraordinary, but you do have to share it with hundreds, if not thousands, of other tourists at the same time. There are also different ways to get to the top of this mountain, and all of them are official. We chose to get the bus from the Copacabana as it was the closest option to our apartment. To be honest, it wasn't very well organized, and we had to wait for about an hour to be able to board a bus back to the Copacabana. So overall, it took us over 5 hours.
In all honesty, other than the fact that it's nice to tick off another world wonder, it's not the most riveting of experiences. The statue is only 30 meters high, so don't expect to be overwhelmed, and in my opinion looks much better from the bottom of the mountain. So it's worth a visit if you're in Rio, but we wouldn't make it a priority, as there are so many other things to do in this city that are much more compelling and rewarding. Speaking of which,
there are a few hikes to commit to in Rio, one of which is the world famous Pedra de Telegrafo, but it's sold by every tour agency and only takes 40 minutes to hike. We decided that we don't really want to queue up for an Instagram pic, so we chose another more difficult hike, Pedra de Gavea, which is one of the most difficult hikes in Rio. Just like Corcovado and the mountain we did hang gliding from, it is located in Tijuca National Park, the largest urban rainforest in the world. We didn't really know what to expect, and at the start we really enjoyed ascending through the beautiful forest, admiring the lush trees with massive jackfruit all over them and lots of wildlife.
I've never been claustrophobic in my life, but when you're walking through a jungle and you know that you're surrounded by like snakes and Brazilian jumping spiders and stuff, you suddenly become a little bit more aware of your surroundings. It's cool though.
Luckily we didn't see any spiders or snakes, but we saw a family of monkeys and some insects.
the path then became pretty rough and we had to use our hands at some points to make our way up the steep inclines.
How do you feel?
Oh, it's challenging. Like, it's not just walking up, like you do actual rock climbing and stuff. Then we got to the point where you actually have to do rock climbing, but we decided to do it without a rope, and it turned out it wasn't that difficult. But you need to be confident that you can do it, or just pay for the rope and harness. 20 minutes later we reached the top, and it was really rewarding. This is actually the place where you can take some insane pictures with the rock, but if the stone de telegrafo is a fake picture, here there is no illusion, so be careful. So me and Marek are very inexperienced hikers, and I think it's maybe our third or fourth hike ever, and it was definitely the most difficult one, but very doable. I don't think you need to buy a tour, just go yourself. It's really safe here. There is military guards here, like with the guns and stuff, so yeah, we felt really safe and we enjoyed the nature. The nature was absolutely unreal.
The next day we went to some tourist attractions in the city itself, one of which was the famous Maracanã Stadium, the most iconic football stadium in the world that has hosted 2 World Cup finals and is the home of Brazilian football. We took the tour, which cost 60 Brazilian reals each.
It's funny how there's pictures of Ronaldinho all over this place, and we actually met him at the airport. He was one of the first people we seen when we were coming into Rio de Janeiro.
It was a great experience for Mark, as he is football crazy, just like the Brazilians. On this day we got around on the metro and saved a lot of money on taxis. Street art in Rio de Janeiro is legal on many types of property and is turning an already colorful city into an art gallery. Unfortunately, some of other colonial buildings suffer from random graffiti, which can be quite uneasy on the eye.
We made our way to the Cathedral Metropolitano in Rio city centre. This isn't your average cathedral. It has an extremely unique design that was derived from ancient Mayan architecture. It's a hugely impressive building that can fit up to 20,000 people. If you look carefully at it from the top of Loaf Mountain, you will be able to spot a cross shape above it because of the way the surrounding buildings were designed.
Walking through the city center felt a bit weird. Even though we lived in China for 5 years and it's a country of contrasts, we've never experienced such a big difference between rich and poor, and I've never seen such a big amount of homeless people.
At one stage we did contemplate taking one of those tours into the Regina favela or one of the other favelas, but after being in the city centre and seeing real people struggle selling pretty much anything, old clocks, old shoes, even socks and stuff like that there, we decided maybe that it wasn't the best idea to turn people's everyday struggle in lives into a tourist attraction, so we opted against that.
And in among those streets you can see the city's main tourist attraction, the Selaron Steps. This iconic artwork consists of 2,000 ceramic tiles from 60 countries. Walk to the top to have the best chance of having this place to yourself.
Rio de Janeiro. It has such a bad reputation, and I've spent 5 days here now, and I just can't believe the preconceived idea I had when I came to Rio compared to the reality of when you get here. Like, if you Google or do any research on Rio de Janeiro, it says, oh, it has the highest crime rate in the world, be careful, it's full of thieves, full of everything bad you could imagine. And I have had the time of my life in the last few days. So if you're thinking about booking a trip to anywhere, don't listen to what they have to say online or anything like that, because it's prejudiced, and go anywhere and enjoy yourself, because it's never as bad as it seems. Rio is a prime example. In the week leading up to us coming to Rio, we were pretty scared about coming here, and it's been the complete opposite.
So the question of this video is Rio safe to travel? And our answer is...
Yeah. As I said earlier, don't be walking around the beach with a phone in your hand. Don't be sitting on the beach and leave your bags unattended to go for a swim or anything like that. Just be sensible. Maybe another good idea would be not to wear too many top-end branded clothes. We read some things not to wear Ray-Ban sunglasses because apparently people like to steal them. But then when we were in Rio, we seen loads of people wearing Ray-Bans, so you can make that whatever judgment of that you wish. But for us, we had a great experience, and we would definitely go back to Rio tomorrow if we could.
And have you been to Rio? What kind of experience did you have there? We would like to hear your story, so just feel free to leave a comment on this video.
So Rio was just the first stop on our trip around South America. We're actually on an island now called Ilha Grande, so stay tuned because we're going to be heading to Sao Paulo after this, and then we have so much more planned to do in South America, so please keep an eye on the channel because we'll be producing videos, and as always, please keep liking and subscribing. And
if you go to Rio, we hope that you will have something to remember, just like us.